This is A Kettle of Fish. Be sure to subscribe and listen to each episode at akettleoffishpodcast.com or your favorite podcast app. Here are your hosts, Robert and Paul.
No, it's guaranteed to be something stupid. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed?
Yes.
Oh.
Besides the fact that you're going to admit that you're an old man.
I'm up because there's a fucking video game that does cool shit at 7 a.m. That'd be like, oh, cool.
No, it's not as cool as that.
Told you.
It's very much the opposite of that. No, so it was 3 years ago.
Why can't you just tell us?
Telling
Why do we have to go into a
3 years ago.
Oh, God.
I worked for the Department of Corrections in Tallahassee.
More like the Department of Erections, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, some of those guards, man.
God,
Yeah. Anyway, where was so I worked for the Department of Corrections, and I had an hour fucking commute to work. So I had to be up at 4 fucking o'clock in the morning. I did that for a year. And my internal clock got so fucked up that now I still wake up between 4 and 6 every day. Like it's
because he's an old man.
That's the prime lift, dude. If you start lifting at like 4:30, you feel insane.
Oh yeah, I know. I've got a pull-up bar like in my doorway, and I do a few of those and some push-ups, and I fucking drink some water, and then I get to my day.
When I worked at the coffee shop, sometimes my shift would be like 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And when I was super, super committed to bulking and like putting on weight, I was like, well, lifting after work sucks because you don't have any energy and you just want to go home and lay down.
You just want to go home.
So I would get up at literally.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I would get up at about 4 a.m. and be at the gym at 4:30. And dude, I don't know. When you have pre-workout in your system and listen, if we're going to talk about the fucking Power Rangers guy, I will have zero. Go for it. But I don't have anything to.
Oh, we're absolutely talking about him.
It's not just that. So I'm sad because
Power Rangers
just
guy.
various reasons, but because I'm a depressed 32-year-old. But it's not. It does suck that Jason David Frank took his own life.
Yeah.
I mean, he was only 49 years old.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks. And especially since he had like, huh?
Who is that?
That's the Power Rangers guy.
Oh, okay. Oh, geez, he did that? Yikes.
Yeah, and what sucks even worse is he did speak out against it. He had a like an MMA gym or whatever called Jesus Didn't Tap. He was very Christian. He had a wife and a kid, and
right.
It sucks, man. His fans all loved him. Dude, people came out, like hundreds of thousands of people would come out to see him at conventions and shit all the time. And I just can't see why someone like him would commit suicide. It like really like fucked me up a little bit because I just met him a few years ago. And it's weird. And that's twice now that I've met someone and then I turn around in a couple of years or so, they fucking kill themselves. So I'm starting to think maybe I'm the problem. But
I mean, you are the.
Well, we'll see in a few months after doing this podcast.
Yeah. Well, so for instance, and I'm not trying like to super make light. Like I'm trying to make light of it because like it's a shitty situation and I'd rather not think about how shitty of a thing that is to do. And how selfish that can be, but like also, you know, it is a major loss for his family too. So you gotta kind of like feel bad for him,
right?
But like, I met Vern Troyer too, like the year before he killed himself, and that
I did not realize
sucked.
that he killed himself.
Yeah, Vern Troyer took his own life, but you could tell he was depressed. You couldn't tell Jason David Frank was depressed, but Vern Troyer, you could tell he like. We saw him at the convention and nobody gave a shit. Like he had no one at his table. He was just kind of sitting up there playing on his phone. Nobody cared. And like you could kind of see that he didn't even care. Like he was just so out of it. He's a cool dude, or he was a cool dude, but man, that sucks, you know. And then we just lost Batman to cancer like a week or so ago. Before that, we lost the Queen, and then the Queen of England. Around that time too. I was talking about Betty White the first time.
Good point. Good.
Yeah. Bob Saget earlier this year.
And what a freak way to die too. Like for him.
Yeah. What was weird was Bob Saget was just in my town the night before he died.
And you didn't see him.
Interesting.
He was at a convention center like near Ponte Vedra, and I was like, wait, what? And then he flew like somewhere else, like immediately, like that night, and that he died in the hotel room.
Damn.
Yeah. And it was like
sucks,
it was something
man.
that he like fell and hit his head or something and didn't seek attention and
Yeah,
had
he
brain
had fallen
swelling or
and
something.
hit a part of his head. Yeah, it was such
Yeah.
a freaky, weird thing.
yeah. My
I actually just found the picture of me with Jason David Frank from a few years ago. I sent it to the.
why is anyways, yeah, I have had the unfortunate
Tell
what's the
him.
word, responsibility of like taking care of people and like doing imaging of people who have committed suicide, and it
Oh,
always
geez.
puts me in a weird place
Yeah.
because I try to what is it when you're trying to put yourself in someone else's shoes, sympathize or
Like
empathize?
empathy? Yeah.
Yeah, one of those. Probably empathize, I think.
It I'd like to think that I can't get there. Like I just don't know what would get me to that point.
Of committing suicide.
Right. Because it just
Yeah.
seems it's so I mean, I hate to be cliche, but there's that saying like it's was it a permanent solution to a temporary problem?
True.
Like,
Yeah.
It's-
And like I said, it's selfish. It's the most selfish thing you could do
it really
like,
is.
forever.
And at the same time, like you also like I kind of like I want to feel in this case for Jason, because obviously
Like
he
depression,
felt
something.
right. He felt that there was no other option for whatever reason. Like he got that
is-
down deep.
Crazy. Like same with Robin Williams. It's like
Yeah.
people loved Robin Williams, and he was obviously dealing with something that was like way deeper than anyone could understand.
Right.
And that sucks.
Right.
I hate when people like I didn't know the man personally. Like it's worse when it's someone close to me or like family member.
Right.
And it's like I can kind of make light when it's like a celebrity or like point out like, hey, dude, that's fucked up. Like, why would you do that? And like
Right.
try to understand it a little better. But when it's someone close to me or someone I know or family or something,
Right.
it fucks me all up.
Yeah.
I can't even process it.
Yeah.
I had
And
I had a guy that we're not really close like that anymore, but his like little brother did that, and he was actually fairly close to it himself for whatever reason.
Right.
And when that happened, he was like, "Oh, I'll never do that," because of like how fucking horrible it felt for like him and his family. And I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't even like cut myself with a knife. I'm like way too I'm like, it's so painful. I couldn't do it.
When
It's
I was in Albany, I was very close. Or not Albany, I guess. It was when I went to Florida for the first time from Albany. I was like ultra fucking depressed. But like now, yeah, I don't think there's anything. I don't know. If my girlfriend died, dude, I don't know,
Nah.
maybe.
There is nothing, no force on this planet or otherwise that could drive me to that point. I have been so low that I've turned to alcohol or other things in the past, and I still was like, nah, man, I got to figure it out. Like I've never in my life felt suicidal, and even if I got to like maybe thinking, because everybody has those intrusive thoughts, like when you're sitting in church and you just want to murder that lady in the big red hat or something.
True.
But-
Janice always hated her.
Yeah, God damn it, Janice, that fucking hat. I can't even see the preacher.
I wish you would stop
well,
interrupting the
she's got it
sermon
coming,
and
so
saying
I've been
amen.
Been putting a little bit of bleach in the wafers over time. So
Yeah,
I'm thinking,
like everybody has intrusive thoughts. Like you could be driving down the
Microdosing rat
road and you
poison.
just see like a couple walking and you just hate the way they look and you're like, man, it would just take one turn of the wheel.
well, what do you mean you hate the way they look, Paul? Hold on,
I
let's
don't
expand
know.
on that a little bit.
Like, not like, it's like, man,
What do they
Why
look?
do
Do
they
they
get
look
to be
kind of like
together and
you,
be
or
happy?
kind of like Akeem that
Yeah.
we used to work with? Like, what
oh
are they kind
God,
of?
you just took that immediately to a racial place. It's because I'm white. God.
Or it's because last week we learned that you're a touch racist.
A touch. I'm very racist. How dare you? No, man. You have those intrusive thoughts like all the time. Everybody does. So like, it may have crossed my mind, but I think I have shaken it away and just been like, no, I could never do that.
I don't know if I've ever had a thought of should I? I've like I just said, I have definitely thought of like, is this the lowest it gets? Is this
Dude,
I don't want to die. It's scary as fuck.
right?
For me, it was always like there was a actually, I don't know if this will be helpful to anybody, but it helped the fuck out of me. There was a really old phrase from some other language talking about depression. And like some guy went to a doctor and he was like, hey, like I'm really depressed. And the doctor was like, where did you tie your horse?
No.
And the guy was like, he like thought about it. And what that means is like, where are you holding all of this weight? What have you put so much importance on
Right.
that it is like fucking you up? And
Cookie
like
Crisp.
I reflected and I was like, it's just the general societal like male fear of failure.
Oh yeah.
Like I was super fucking depressed because of something that a friend did to me when I was in Albany when I was like 18. And then I was like, all right, I think the play is to go to Florida. Then I'll be fixed. So I went to Florida. Obviously, I wasn't fixed. Spiral. So I like wasn't going to college,
Same.
which was furthering it because like my parents were paying for my college and I just wasn't going. So I'm just like blowing all of their money. I'm fucking my own college future into the ground because I'm failing. I'm doing worse than dropping out. I am literally actively plummeting my GPA.
Right.
And I was like,
Do you
dude,
track your GPA?
Yeah. Sometimes some people
I just
care
kind
about that kind of shit.
I just
Paul.
kind of went to school. I was like, okay.
God damn it. I don't even know how to respond to that. I'm like, what do you mean? Do you track your GPA?
Dude, it took like for instance in high school, I didn't know I still don't know what my GPA was. And I've had my transcript. I've lost it, but
Paul's
I still
like-
have no idea.
I don't know if you caught a hint of this last week, Tyler, when we were doing this. Paul's, and in the years that you've known of Paul,
I live very carefree, motherfucker.
it's the truest
true.
definition of carefree. It's almost childlike to a degree that could be envious, and then you realize it's kind of a downfall too.
Nah.
I wanted to mention this. You guys both knew me at my most contentious, at my spiciest, okay?
Right.
And
Spicy hot
Paul,
dog.
you and I beefed our fair number of times. I wanted to fucking throttle you a few times. I'm sure you wanted to throttle me as well, which is fine.
I don't think I ever wanted to throttle you. I thought we were just always having fun.
There was at least twice that I was like, if I was confident that I could kill him, I may kill him.
I seriously
Rob-
only have fond memories. I don't have a moment where I'm like, God,
Because I was microdosing
damn.
with rat poison and it affects your long-term memory.
And that's probably what it was. And even with Robert, I only remember one time that me and Robert have like beefed where we stopped talking, and that was when I was living with Noel.
Oh.
Yeah, I was living with Noel. This wasn't even that long ago. This was a few years ago.
Yeah.
And because I had gone to Indiana. I think it was around that time. It might have been before that time. I don't know.
I
I
think
had
it was
gotten
before
super
that.
depressed. So I was stupid depressed because every job I had ever had, I'd lost in
Fired
some
him.
stupid asinine way. And at that time I was working at the prison, and I was like, this is a good job. You know, I enjoy it. It's full time. I'm getting paid well. It's work with the government. It's good for my resume. I'm going to keep with it. At the end of the first year, the governor shut down the fucking programs, and I lost my job. And it's like, I had no control over that.
Who did that? DeSantis?
Whoever was the governor before DeSantis.
Oh, gotcha. Rick Scott? Question mark?
Yeah, Rick Scott shut down the programs. And I lost my job, and like I had no control over
I
that.
thought Republicans made all the jobs. Wait, I'm confused.
Well, and then it's like I had people around me that made me feel worse about it. Like, well, you should have tried harder. And like, the fucking governor took my job away. You fucking did. I went off on my uncle because my uncle said some shit like that. And I was like, look here, you fucking asshole. You lost your job as a math teacher because you were diddling little kids. So shut the fuck up.
Shit. Whoa.
And I haven't talked to him since.
Shots fired.
Yeah. God. And so, you know, I just went off on him because he said, you should have tried hard. And I was like, go fuck yourself. And I hated that. I hated that mentality. And for 2 fucking years, I could not find another job.
Yeah.
2 years. I was unemployed. I would do odd jobs for my landlord and make like $50 a day. But it wasn't every day. And I was super pissed and super depressed about a lot of shit. And then Robert, I think it was after I went to Indiana because me and Noel were in a different house.
I don't know, because it was around the time that you and I were playing with Tiger, whatever his name was.
Who?
There was that moment too. I was thinking of a different moment. That was when I stopped talking. That's when I stopped talking to Tyrone or whatever the fuck his name was. Yeah. But that's because PUBG. But you stayed trying to talk to me. Like, I remember that. There was a time though where like Noel had to reach out to you, and that was after Indiana.
Reached out to me?
Yeah, Noel talked to you. I don't know if you remember. It was I don't know. It was stupid. Whatever.
Listen, the point. All I was trying to say was that I remember beefing with everybody, but I don't think I ever beefed with Rob. And I was like, maybe Rob is one of those people that's like actually impossible to beef with.
No, it happens. It happens.
Just those people who are like naturally kind of like what's the word? Like enlightened or some shit, and you just like can't.
He's a monk.
You just be like, you would like walk up to him and be like, you know what, man, fuck you, and he'd be like, I understand. And you'd be like, oh, well,
yeah, I get it.
I mean, I appreciate that you use the word enlightened for that, as opposed to just
egotistical all of a sudden. Jesus.
No, I mean,
can you think of a time where we like seriously like got into it, Rob? Because I can't.
No, I remember. Like, I don't remember anything like that. I remember thinking like, wow,
he doesn't hold on to beefs.
No, I don't, and I forget stuff really easily, and I just kind of, I don't. I'm trying to think of anything where I was remotely pissed or like, no.
Yeah, I was like, I can't think either.
I know after I lost my job for those 2 years, I was super depressed and I was pissed off at everyone for thinking I was a failure because I thought I was a failure. And I went to Indiana to try and fix that, just like you thought going to Florida would fix your problems, Tyler.
Yep.
And it did not. And in fact, I got even more depressed. And like, because I applied at 70 fucking I had so many fucking rejection letters. It was just breaking me. Yeah. Like, over 2 years and going to Indiana, my email was just full of, no, we're actually looking for someone else, or you're not right fit, or you don't have the experience we need, or da 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 da. And I was like, I can't work at fast food. I can't, like, physically at that point in my life, I can't be on my feet anymore like I used to. I end up in like severe fucking pain, and it's like I can barely stand. And then I end up missing days of work because I'm like, I can't fucking get out of bed. So I ended up going back to Florida. Well, I picked up Noelle and we went to Mississippi to see her parents, and I was super depressed, and they got mad at me because I didn't want to go to her sister's fucking thing, and I was just wanted to be left kind of alone, but they didn't understand that I was depressed because I didn't communicate that, and so they got mad at me for like 2 years, and then I fucked up my whole relationship with Noelle because I was super depressed. And then I fucked up my relationship with Robert briefly, and because I was depressed and angry at everything and everyone all the time about everything.
What did you do to Rob? How did you make Rob mad at you?
I don't know. We were playing a fucking game, I'm sure, and I got pissed off because he said something, and we like went off on each other, and then we stopped talking.
Oh,
I remember finding something that I thought was hilarious because of the way that you were reacting, because I do enjoy, you're one of the few people that I do enjoy pissing off.
See, and that was Tyrone or whatever his fucking name was.
Yeah.
Like, I tried to make amends with that motherfucker too,
Yeah.
which really pissed me off. But like, he intentionally would push my buttons to get a rise out of me, and then he finally got a rise out of me and got pissed off that I was mad. And I'm like, you did this.
Yeah.
Which made me more pissed off.
I remember you you like erased me from the face of the planet.
oh damn!
You like hard blocked everything.
I blocked
in a matter of
That's why
20
Noelle
seconds.
reached out to you.
I was like,
No,
what the fuck?
yeah.
I remember reaching out to Noelle for that.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe you reached out to Noelle.
I was like, this guy.
Paul's like, that's it, scorched earth. I'm fucking done.
And then Noelle fucking like talked to me and was like, just talk to Robert.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that was our one beef moment in our entire lives.
I remember being until I just kind of accepted it and realized that it's just you, and you found ways around just
Dealing with shit.
doing your thing. There was a moment where I had given you some money or whatever because you needed somebody like for an electric bill or something like that, and then you popped up with an Xbox One, and I was like,
what? Really?
Yeah. And I was like, bro,
I don't remember that.
what the fuck? And you're like, yeah, I had
Paul,
like
that
a whole
would be
bunch
so fucked, dude.
You're like, yeah, I had a whole bunch of trade credit and stuff, and you kind of explained it away, and I was like, all right, well, I kind of believe it because you're always scheming when it comes to trade credits and shit.
That wasn't even mine.
The Xbox wasn't.
No, that was Noelle's. We had traded in her Xbox and got like upgraded.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
the timing and the lack.
Yeah, I
of-
can see
of
where the timing would be
description
weird.
was very
Yeah.
like what? Even Aaron was just like, did that motherfucker take that money and go get an Xbox?
Damn.
Which, let's all be honest, sounds like something you would do.
No, I always take care of bills first. But I see that's the other thing is I don't like asking people for money at
Right.
all. Like
Oh,
ever.
Paul, this picture, you're so small and cute.
I know I'm very tiny.
How old were you in this?
Dude, this was like a couple years ago. Like I was 29.
Damn.
For everyone
Yeah.
who is listening in this audio-based broadcast, there's a picture of Paul, Jason, David, Frank, and Noelle.
Yeah.
In there.
I actually still have that helmet with his signature on the back too. It's on my desk right now. But conventions are fun. I like meeting like celebrities.
I've always thought about going to like a couple of different ones, but I've never ever bit the bullet and gone to one.
Well, dude, you're like near Tampa. Tampa has MegaCon like all the time.
Yeah, I know Tampa's like a hot spot for it, but I don't know.
I would love
man.
to go to MegaCon. I actually thought about going to Dragon Con this year just because.
Dragon Con annoys me.
If you guys ever came here, we would go together. That would be fun as hell.
Dude,
Want to
let's
do
go
it
to
a
the
thing?
convention.
Want to make it a thing?
Dude, I would love to.
When is
Kettle of
MegaCon?
Fish, dude. We can do live broadcast from a convention.
Yeah, that's
We
probably
can-
not going to happen. I would want to murder people because of the
Dude, let's get a
noise,
booth.
I'm sure.
A booth at the convention and take like live questions, like as people are walking
From
by.
who? Our two listeners?
Just
Can't
like
confirm
four people, like,
it's
hey,
more
you.
than two. Now,
Yeah.
whether or not they're real and not bots, that's a whole nother ballgame.
Like just make up shit like nobody's coming to our booth. Like, hey, you, yeah, what do you want? Just like,
Not to sidetrack. There is I was looking at the topics list. If that's the real one, there's one that I'm extremely excited for, but I'm not going to tell you which one.
So I think I can assume which one you would point out.
I think that you'll think incorrectly, but go for it.
Well,
unless you don't want to spoil it.
Oh, I forgot. I had a Robert question too.
Hold on. You did, and you had something about what's the word? Hypocrisy.
I have one about consequentialism.
That's yeah.
Before we move on too much, anybody listening to this, bot or not, if you're having troubles with depression, speaking from experience,
there are helplines.
There is absolutely, positively a better way to take care of yourself, and I highly suggest to talk to somebody.
100%. There's two things I want to say on that. I'm currently dating somebody who has actually used the suicide helpline, and it was insanely successful. They are so talented at de-escalation and stuff like that. It's crazy how quickly they can kind of ground you in that scenario. And then also, always remember that if you were to pull up a graph of like depression, suicides, and age, the fall off at 25 is huge. Because your brain is not done developing until you're 25.
Yeah.
So just ride it out. Like it got a lot better for me. I don't have any of that kind of stuff anymore. And I think it shut off at about like 26, 27 was when I really started to come out of it. So don't give up. Okay. It does get better.
It does. Just reach out.
Definitely.
There's absolutely people who will listen and not be judgy. It's absolutely.
God, that would suck.
Yeah, that would.
You know, like if you call a helpline, it's like, yeah, I'm not feeling too great. I'm feeling depressed. I'm thinking about suicide, and they're just like they do that cough laugh, like, oh, sorry.
Have you guys pointed out that it's actually it's normal? Like it's.
Do you guys know who Low Tier God is?
No.
So he has, I don't know if you guys have seen the "you should kill yourself now" that meme. Have you guys seen?
Oh my God, no.
So it was like he lost in a fighting game, and he was like, "Your life is worth nothing. You serve zero purpose." And I saw that meme, and it was like therapists when your credit card declines.
Oh my God,
like, you should kill yourself.
That
now.
reminds me of an old Mad TV skit that I've loved like my whole life. It's like this lady goes to a therapist because she's afraid of being buried alive in a box. And he's just like, oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I've got 2 words, for you to help you get through this. You don't have to write them down. I'm sure you'll remember them. It's just 2 words. Stop it.
Yeah.
And he just would keep reiterating that. And then she got pissed. And she was like, I can't just stop it. It's like a problem. And he's like, he's like, okay, well, I've got like 10 words for you then. So you might want to write these down because it is a lot longer. And he's like, stop it or I'll bury you alive in a box. That shit, fucking, I love Mad TV. I miss it. I wish it would come back.
Yeah.
I know it wouldn't be the same because they're all like 90 and drug addicts now.
No, you'd have to have different actors for sure, different comedians.
No, you can get Phil Lamar back at the very least. All he's doing is voice acting. Nobody cares. I love Phil Lamar though.
Paul, you need to gather some info on MegaCon. We need to make this happen.
Huh? On what?
On MegaCon.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a booth. We're gonna do it. A fish booth. Kettle of fish booth.
Well, sure. I think Rob just kind of wants to go together.
Oh yeah, we can go. we can go to MegaCon. It's fine. It's cheap. It's cheaper than going to Disney.
I would hope so.
But Rob, you gotta like fly down
to go to Disney.
I mean, I could just drive over there. I'm not terribly far away. You've got to fly. You're all the way in North Georgia.
I can drive. We drove to Orlando this year to go
that
to
is a
Universal.
Stupidly long drive.
I thought you were in
a
Tennessee. Am I insane?
No. I'm like
he's close.
The distance between me and Chattanooga, Tennessee, is basically the distance, if not even closer than like Leesburg to Albany.
Oh,
he can
gotcha.
step out on
Okay.
his back porch and throw a rock, and now it's a Tennessee citizen.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Exactly. That is legit. Yeah. So yeah.
And I know you've moved, which means you've moved even closer to Tennessee. Because I remember I stopped at your house on the way to Indiana.
Yeah, you even stayed with me.
Yeah, I stayed the night
a
with
couple
you.
nights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess technically moved further away from Tennessee, but by only maybe a couple 100 feet.
Oh,
But,
well, either way. I just remember having to drive through the mountains the following day, and I hated it.
yeah, it's pretty up here. What are you talking about?
I know it's pretty, but I hate driving through those windy fucking roads with people that don't know how to
There is
drive.
a lot of windy ass roads up here.
You know what? I don't remember the first Robert style question I had to ask. I do remember the other one. I actually had I was forming a list and I forgot to write any of it
The
down.
fact that you have a list of quote Robert style
Mhm.
questions is honestly, it's kind of flattering. But
Yeah. Well, it's like, cause you always ask those kind of how do you guys feel about blankety blankety blank? You know, like
Yeah.
the like almost philosophical debate
Right.
questions.
I have not heard a single fucking philosophical question since we started this podcast. Okay.
no, not this one. No.
Well, we've been shitting
Or the
around with
previous.
you catching up and fucking stuff.
we kind of touched on one last week, but yeah, nothing super deep.
Yeah, no, Robert will ask would you rather type questions. Let's put it that way. It's would you rather be a hobo or Adolf Hitler at the end of World War II?
Exactly.
And it's a Family Guy joke. I can't take credit for that.
I thought I heard it before.
No, Tyler, you were about to say something though. What were you going to talk about?
I mean, the only one that I have to bring up is the consequentialist question. We can get that one out of the way if you want.
Oh yeah, we can
Sure.
talk about that.
Okay, so the first part of it's going to be pretty easy, and it should be pretty agreeable to everybody. Don't say anything retarded, Paul. Okay, just try to engage with it on a human being level that makes sense. Okay,
That's assuming I'm a human being.
there's no clarification. Okay, hold on, I need to stretch. Okay,
Gotta
there's not
really
going to be. You can't
load up
know
for-
these people. You can't know their anything about them. Okay.
Okay.
So the question is, what should you
Is this
do? Should you save
this-
one person or two people?
Oh, it's the trolley question.
Nope. Hold on. Well,
trolley
promise.
question.
Yeah, the trolley riddle or whatever it is.
Sour
It's
gummy. trolley?
infinitely simpler than the trolley question. So do you save one person?
there's a trolley on a track and it goes two different ways.
okay,
There's one
okay.
person
Mode
you
of
know and care about on
transportation
one
trolley.
side, or five people that you don't know
I gotcha.
on the other side.
I follow you.
Yeah. So this one is just you either have the option to save one person or two people.
And I
feel
don't
like-
know anything about the two people.
No. Or the
So you
one.
don't know if
know
they're-
nothing about any of them.
They are
I feel
actually
like
Adolf
with two
Hitler
people, the
and-
odds go way up on them being like murderers.
Oh my god. I knew this
Like
was
you
gonna
have-
trigger the fuck out of me. I knew it.
You have more of a chance. But with two people, if you were the only three people left on the planet, at least that time you have a chance to convince
Paul,
the other one to join your
please.
side.
We're just talking about which one is morally correct. Which one should you do? Should you save one human life or two human lives? If
It
you have the
depends on the-
option.
It depends
Nope.
on the consequences of,
No.
of saving that person.
I'm gonna fucking. Oh my god.
Did you
Did you ever have any philosophy professors, Paul? Are they still with us on this planet?
No, I think they also committed suicide.
Yeah,
Damn.
I believe it. All right. So obviously,
They
most
hitched
people
a ride and left.
would say that, okay, well, if I don't know anything about them, it's equally easy to say both, right? Like there's no risk that you would
Oh,
say
I didn't
two
know both
people.
was an answer. I thought it was like an either or.
Both people. God damn it.
Oh.
One person or two people, you would save the two, right?
Okay, yeah, two people.
From a utilitarian, I'm gonna
Yes.
save like two people. versus
Sure,
one.
yeah.
on its
Makes
face.
sense.
That's
Right.
To,
yeah.
to
But so
save
then-
more people. Yes.
If that's how we operate, if we operate that, if given the option to save two
Mhm.
people, you should do that if one has to die, right? Like, okay, if I have an option where either one person has to die or two people have to die, you should always opt for the two.
So
Then
like
we enter
Wanted.
into a world where, let's say you go to the hospital for a headache, and you get in there and you're like, yeah, like my head's hurting, and they're like, hey, listen, sorry to tell you this, but there's two people next door that need your organs, and it would save both of them, so we're just going to kill you and take your organs. So it's like, okay, well, okay, hold on, fuck. So now, like, the question gets much harder,
Right.
because if that is the world where, like, yeah, you should always save the two over the one, it's like, okay, well, then you could be killed at any moment if it meant that it would save two people. I just thought that was really interesting, because then it gets really fucky. You
Well,
have to, like,
typically they won't just murder you at a hospital.
Well, there are
it's
laws
fucking
against that.
hypothetical.
But also, like, I think that hypothetical would make more sense if, like, you went in for a headache. Turns out it's like a brain tumor that's going to kill you in a week or something.
It's not.
Would you rather go ahead and end it to save like two people since you know you're going to die soon?
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
I was just saying that's the more like ethically okay.
I know that's what makes this question hard. Is if
I
killing
know.
you at full HP, okay, no
What
status
hospital is
conditions.
this in Russia? Like, yeah, we're just gonna kill you and take your organs.
We have to move on. I can't do it. We have to talk about something else. I can't.
No, I get it. I get it. What you're talking about, and when it comes to self-sacrifice, people are less willing to make that call on saving other people, and
Yeah.
it's because we're all selfish. That I
Yeah,
mean, that's just
Basically,
that's
that was
the
kind of the point. Is that if it feels like everybody would be like, yeah, I would save the two. If I can save two people over one, I would always.
if
save
I had
the
the
two.
choice, but when that choice is taken away from us, and
exactly, then
we
people
become
don't-
more selfish.
People become inconsistent. I find that really interesting. That they're like,
Self
well, wait,
well, because that's an evolution thing. That's self-preservation.
right.
Because even when you're saving two people, that's increasing your odds of survival. But when you suddenly are put at the knife's point, you fucking I'm preserve myself over anyone else.
Yeah. What do you think, Rob? Any thoughts?
I mean, I can't really add on to what's already been said.
I made a very valid point with evolution there. You can't really argue that.
I mean,
People have tried. Darwin stands strong.
Good God.
His tombstone just says,
I do have a
"Suck it,
deeper.
bitches."
I have a deeper extension of that, but we won't get into that one. There's a
Yeah,
much.
like the trolley problem.
It's way harder than the trolley problem. It gets real.
What's the trolley problem's hard as fuck, man.
Yeah.
And
no,
it's
well,
also
now,
like
now I'm curious. What's the
Okay, so
I told you.
we're operating in Fantasyland. Okay, we're all
Fantasy.
engaged in a hypothetical because our brains can do so. Okay,
Okay.
Yes.
so there are
We've got
five.
all the wrinkles.
There are 5 people in a cave. 5 individual, separate people in a cave. Okay.
Okay.
Each one of these 5 people has the option to save one person or 2 people. If, unbeknownst to them, if they all choose what would be morally the right option to save 2, then when all of those people make it to the end of the cave, a demon will show up and say, oh, look, you saved all of them. I'm killing all of you. So now, what is the morally correct option? What should you do? If you go on the micro level, like, oh, I chose to save 2 over 1, that's the correct option. But if everyone does that, then you get to the end of the cave, the demon's going to kill everyone. So by
Which is it's
going
it's
with
very,
the correct move on the micro level, you're killing everyone. You're doing the wrong. You're doing evil. So how do you resolve
Robert,
that one?
It's Batman, The Dark Knight. It's Joker blowing up both boats. Essentially, one boat has prisoners, one boat has civilians. They either blow up the other boat, and if neither one of them blows it up, then they, it's the same thing. That little fucking problem has been floating around forever, and people use it in all kinds of media and this, that, and the other.
Yeah, that's
There's no, I think there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer.
I
there's
also
no right
feel like it kind of stumps consequentialism, because I think consequentialism only kind of works at the micro level. And if you start extending it and qualifying all this stuff at the macro level, then it kind of breaks it like doesn't
'Cause
work.
well. At some
the
point in
only
time, you're
time
just
anything
making
like that
the
works is when you start
decision-
questioning
At
the
some point in time-
consequences of your actions.
You're
Yeah.
just. I feel like you're just kind of making things more difficult for the sake of making it more difficult while not answering this question.
Yeah, but if we don't make things difficult, we can never solve like issues and progress like as humans.
I'm not
We
saying
can-
it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that, like, for this particular exercise, like, all right, do you
Oh, yeah.
save one boat or both boats? And then saving both boats, you end up killing all boats.
Both.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just.
Why do you think Batman had to step in and stop him? Because it
Exactly.
didn't matter. But unfortunately, we live in a world without Batman. So,
It was.
well, we
I
got
think,
Elon Musk. Elon Musk is very close. He just needs to take martial arts classes.
I think the reason
It's fair.
those types of questions are created is because like it's very easy to be like, oh, what's your philosophical standpoint? Well, I'm a consequentialist. You should always do what has the best outcome for the best amount of people. And it's like, okay, well, hold on. What if
You can never know.
What if you all choose to save 2 people, and in the end you've saved 1,000 people, right? Like you made the best choice, but then like a meteor hits the planet, assuming that you save all 1,000.
You can never know, like, because the butterfly effect, the ripple effect, all that kind of shit. Like, you can never know what your actions will have consequences for. Like, you have no idea.
Right.
You can never know. You can't. Everybody's like, "Oh, go back in time and kill Hitler," and it's like, how do you know that wouldn't make things worse?
That's true. There's always, I mean, there could be somebody else who would come up way worse. Than
You never know. So it's
Way
you.
worse.
You can't possibly understand the full reach of your the consequences for your actions until they've already happened, and you can't just assume that things will be better just because you decided that's how it's going to be. That's not how the world works. Shit just happens. It's chaos.
True.
It's true. True.
Literally talked about this in Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Paul gets all his fucking virtues.
So this is part of the reason. So last week, I explained that. Well, I didn't really explain, but it was mentioned in passing. One of the reasons why we started the show was because of the mental, gymnastics that you have to go through to understand Paul, and I thought it was entertaining. The other part of it is how his brain works, and the fact that he's like this encyclopedic knowledge of all things pop culture, to a degree that's kind of maddening sometimes. And it's just, I don't know. I felt like we just needed to
have a weird
encapsulate
amount
this
of
guy
knowledge about a weird amount of things.
and put it out there where people can listen in either disappointment or entertainment
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
It makes me happy to know that.
To know that you're that I'm using
Like,
you.
I feel like I would piss off like a trivia host or something. Like, I could never go on Jeopardy. Like, Alec Trebek would like fucking kick me out or whatever. But
Could you imagine
I think it's funny.
Alex Trebek
'cause,
coming back from the dead just to kick you out?
you come back from the dead, it's like, get the fuck out. It's like Turd Ferguson.
Ghost Trebek.
He died this year too.
Alex Trebek, yeah, he did.
Norm Macdonald died. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's been a bad year. Grim Reaper needs to calm his tits.
Yeah, a little bit. He's like, I gotta meet that quota, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know, man. I think it's funny. Because I'm not allowed to play like trivia games either with people. Like, I bought fucking Trivial Pursuit on the Switch, and I played that with a couple people now, and it's just I steamroll that game.
I like that
It's just
game.
random knowledge, just like reconnects in my the synapses in my brain. It's like it just
Right.
whenever something's like, oh, I kind of vaguely know that answer, so I'm gonna guess this is the right one, and then it typically is.
So, you said that you had a Robert style question though.
Oh, well, kind of.
Okay.
I thought you
Um,
said you forgot it.
I
Well, he
forgot
said he had
one.
two. The first one he forgot. And the second one.
Ah.
Yeah, I forgot one because of the Jason David Frank thing. Like, threw me off yesterday, and I even sent in the messenger that I should write it down,
Yeah,
and I didn't. And I'm very mad.
That sounds pretty on brand for
and
you,
myself.
to be honest.
So So I had a problem yesterday. Like we were on the road, or was it 2 days ago? Dude, I don't remember. We were on the road, and I noticed, and I noticed this a lot. Like I'm super particular about road rules. It's so much so that I get road rage very easy because I'm just like, why the fuck? What's wrong with you? Did you not pay attention in class? You know,
That's fair.
like people don't know. Like you can ask an average person what the lines on the road mean, like the solid line versus the dotted line, and they can't tell you what the difference is because they don't give a shit. They just cross whatever, and that is so aggravating to me.
That's like a vital part of the driving test that we
I
do
know,
all take.
but you don't. How many people have you in your life have you seen cross the solid line?
Now, whether or
and not
not
give a shit.
they abide by the rules and know what the
Abiding,
rules
okay.
are two different things.
So that's kind of where I'm going. Like when it comes to
Jeffrey
certain road
Dahmer
rules,
knew that it was against the rules to kill and eat people, but he still did it.
I like that analogy. Do you guys see the speed limit sign as a suggestion, the minimum, or the maximum?
By its definition, it's the maximum.
It is. By definition, it's the maximum
Yeah,
speed
but
you should go.
nobody cares about the maximum. Nobody.
But see, that's
we
the
all
thing.
know that. Yeah.
There's like a 10
You
to 15
should
mile
be
an hour
going
buffer.
in a sense of it. You should be going like if the speed limit's 55,
I think it's the
you should be
minimum.
going between 40 and 50 miles per hour.
Well, a lot of times there are posted minimums as well. Like on
If the
75.
speed limit is 45 and you're going 43, I'm gonna lose my mind. You need to be
That's
going
what
at
I'm
least
saying,
yeah.
though. That's what I'm saying is people don't see it as a limit. So my thing is like, should we like redo that whole system? Or are people still going to just say, fuck it, whatever? I mean, it got to the point where the law was even like, all right, fuck it, whatever. 5 miles over, we don't give a shit. You know, like,
I think that's where that's the first breakdown, and that's where it started to fuck up. Because if it was like a hard rule, if it was
Yeah.
known that if you're going above this limit, which is the definition of the speed limit,
yeah,
that's
the
when
maximum.
the consequences start to
Yeah.
come in, and they could pull you over if you're over whatever that posted limit is. But
Yeah.
So I think what it is at the beginning, I'm willing to bet that they had the posted speed limit, but speedometers,
And people,
even right now, speedometers are not 100% accurate all the time. Like I can tell you right now, on my
even with the
relatively
digital
new
displays.
car, it's not accurate. Like
Well,
it's
see,
all-
like, I know this question doesn't really pertain to Tyler because he just speeds anyway.
True.
But it is always like kind of rattled around in my head like whether or not, like, I see it as a hard limit and I try not to speed because I'm like, I've been pulled over for speeding like when I was young anyway, so like I try to avoid that, and I'm always like super hesitant. I'm like, oh fuck, what am I doing wrong? Which I guess is why I'm so particular about the rules, because when I'm in a car, especially after the couple of wrecks that I've had, I'm always like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? My brain is over processing everything. Like, am I going the right speed? Are can I cross here? Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? Da, 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 da. And then I
Right.
see other people not abiding by those fucking rules, and
Right.
it breaks my fucking brain, and I get so pissed.
I don't see why that would break your brain though, because there are people breaking rules that you follow all the time.
Yeah, it hurts my soul, especially if they're inconveniencing me though. Like if people that can't read signs, right?
I mean,
like
you if we're really going to extrapolate here, you break rules of societal norms all the time. I mean,
but it's not inconveniencing anyone.
Is it?
Yet. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't. Nobody's honked their horn at me in public yet, so I don't know.
You're that guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was a funny little like how you guys. What's your stance on the speed limit sign? Is
I appreciate
in
the
general.
question, to be honest, but
It's got to be it's a hard minimum. If you're going anything less than the speed limit, I'm going to absolutely livid.
I just love there's 3 different like answers here. Like Robert's like by the books, like here's what the definition is. I don't follow it, but that's what
Dude,
the definition is.
Even
And
if,
Tyler's
even
like,
if,
dude, if you're going slow, if you're going 54.5,
Well, even Tyler admitted what the definition. He was like, "Yes, that is the
Yeah.
definition." But if you're
Yeah.
going any bit shorter than this, or
yeah,
It's
if
so
the
funny
speed
to
limit's 50 and you're going 51, I'm going to look at this, but I'm going to go, nice. We just have to go the absolute minimum that we can fucking go.
Yes,
Like,
you do.
yeah. No, cringe, dude.
I also think
if it's
like,
a 50 mile an hour zone, I'm going 60.
Yeah.
See,
And
that's
guess what?
crazy
If
to me.
everybody goes 65 in a 50, what are the cops going to do? Just pick somebody at random?
Yeah.
Yes, me typically. And then they tell me, I'm like, hey, my speedometer doesn't work. And they're like, well, you should just stay with the flow of traffic. And it's like, well, I was. And everybody was speeding. So
I'm sure there's some weird way to spin this into some like deep question about morals and all that stuff.
yeah,
too.
we could get right back into morality there. My thing though is like, at what point did everybody was like, this is too slow. Let's go the exact speed limit or higher. Like everyone just agreed that the speed limit, like
That's a
the
good
majority of people on the road, except for like 70-year-old people and people that have illegal shit in their car, they all go either like exactly there or like 5 miles over at least. The majority of people.
It's like the meme song, "Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious,
Don't be suspicious.
Don't-
I love that little reel or TikTok or whatever. It's like, oh my god, you're such a good driver. And it's like, because there's illegal shit in here.
Yeah.
Because if I don't do the speed limit and you don't wear your seatbelt, we are going to get pulled over and go to jail, and I'm going to tell them it's all on you.
Yep. Yo,
Fucking damn, man. Like, I don't know. It's just one of those like small quirks of civilization that bothers me. Like we don't care. Like it's just whatever. Fucking, I'll go as fast as I want. Fuck
I
yourself.
mean, it ultimately it also comes down to we are mostly selfish, and if it benefits us.
That's why I hate motorcyclists. They're all selfish.
Oh, dude, I do think that the watch for motorcycles is the most useless brain dead sticker you could ever have on a vehicle, and fuck you if you buy one. Holy shit. It's so stupid. Imagine somebody's driving and they see the sticker and they're like, holy fuck, wait, motorcycles exist. Oh my God. Thank God I saw that sticker. I just got out of a coma. I forgot that motorcycles were a thing. Like, on what planet is this sticker providing any utility? Oh, God. But I feel that way about any bumper sticker. If it's like a political bumper sticker, it's like,
Right.
imagine
My
somebody's
student's
driving and they're like, God.
an A student. I'm a real student. Go fuck your student. I don't give a shit.
Like
your
somebody's
child.
driving, they're like, you know, I've never voted in 35 years. And wait a minute. Let's go, Brandon. That's it. I'm voting. That's it. Like, it's so stupid, dude. I know it's just like a circle jerk thing. Like, look, are you guys on my side? I am. Hong Kong. Woohoo.
My
But-
favorite are the Salt Life stickers for people that live nowhere near the ocean.
Yeah,
It's
Salt
funny you
Life
bring that
stickers are
up.
fucking
One of
cringe,
my
dude.
best friends from Albany came up to visit, and he noticed that his like Chattanooga's a pretty landlocked city. Why do you have so many Salt Life stickers?
Salt Life.
Because I go to fucking what's that? Is it Panama City Beach, where all the kids in Albany used to go for spring break?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Probably. Yeah.
I go there fucking 3 times a year and just get blackout drunk. Oh,
Yeah, they
nice,
have
dude.
the-
Salt Life.
The what was it, Krabby Joe's or whatever? Fucking
I believe it down there.
I don't remember what
Come
it's
out of there
called.
with some Krabby Joes.
Yeah. But bumper stickers are funny. Motorcyclists, though, in general, I can't abide by motorcycles. Like, because they don't care about
Motorcycles.
following the rules of the road, and they don't have to. Because,
Dude.
Fun fact, cops are not allowed to chase motorcyclists.
True, over a certain speed limit. Actually, at any speed limit, not at any speed limit, but at certain speed thresholds, they are supposed to be required to disengage because it
Yeah.
becomes a public
Yep.
safety thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
But all the
it's-
time, dude, if I'm driving and I see a motorcyclist like being normal, I'm like, okay, cool. But if they're
Yeah.
like going super fast or they go in between cars, I'm like, no,
They're
dude,
splitting
there
the
should be a
lanes.
fucking. There should be a law that if you die doing that shit, nobody's allowed at your funeral. You're not allowed to have one. Fuck it. It's on you.
That's your fault. Which is, I think is funny is like the people that are on like choppers, like the fucking like metalhead cyclists that are just like have beards down to their navel and fucking like all black leather and shit. They abide by the rules. They usually do like the flying V and abide by the rules and shit. But then you see these fucking like college kids
they're the ones
on motorcycles.
They're the ones
like
with the
crotch
pounds
rocket
of cocaine in their
Yamaha,
satchels.
yeah, whatever the fuck, and they're cutting in and out of traffic. They're right in the line. They go on the fucking shoulder to go around you, and it's like, I'm on a motorcycle and it's hot outside. It's like, well, that's your fucking fault for buying a vehicle with no AC. Or it's like, oh, I'm on a motorcycle and it could rain. It's like, that's your fucking fault for buying a vehicle without a roof.
But they do go 900 miles on 1 gallon of gas.
And then they go 900 miles. And I used to work with a guy when I was cleaning carpets. He had to go to fucking court all the time because like to get checkups on whether or not he had marijuana in his system, because a fucking motorcyclist was riding the lines, and fucking he was pulling out, and this dude was cutting in and out of traffic, and it ran right into his fucking truck and killed the guy.
Jeez.
And I'm like, that's his fucking fault.
True.
And I feel like motorcyclists don't get blamed for that shit, and then they get pissy and they're filming it on their body cams and shit. And it's like, why'd you fucking do that? It's like, why the fuck were you cutting the line up like that? You fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I let a motorcyclist get pissed because he hit my vehicle because he was doing some stupid shit. I will pull that baseball bat out of my trunk so fucking fast. I will kick the fuck out of you. You asshole. There's some people, I get so enraged on the road. I get to the point of like just
This has been a very triggering episode for you so far.
Dude,
just wait, okay?
I fucking, there are times where I'm like so aggravated at the person in front of me that I'm just yelling indiscriminately out my window because I don't have AC, so my windows are down. And I'm just like, I will pull you out of your car, tear your steering wheel off, and beat you to death with it in front of everyone.
For God's sake, calm down.
What?
Everything
You're
you're
blowing your
using
bike out.
is like, chill, dude.
Dude, I can't chill in traffic. I can't.
Listen, we have 50 minutes. We have to get through these topics, okay?
It's true.
Okay. Yeah. Do you guys think dragons are dinosaurs?
Oh my god.
Oh my God. No, I'm not engaging this.
No, okay, hold on. No, the thought process though, right? There's a thought process behind it.
I don't know. I don't care. I don't know. No,
Okay,
probably
but-
not. They're probably a mythological thing.
How though? How?
How is
A fire-breathing
No.
lizard?
Because look, civilizations that were not connected in any kind of way all over the world thousands of years ago all came up with very similar depictions for the same type of mythical beast. There was no internet. There was no phone calls. They didn't have fucking traders from England going to goddamn like Mayan civilizations and showing them what a dragon was. How did everyone?
maybe they all
roughly
watch Game
around-
of Thrones, okay? Can we go to the next fucking topic?
They had Game of Thrones back in fucking negative 1000 BC or whatever.
Okay, they
it
read
was.
the books then.
Mayan civilization didn't have books. They carved it on the dead.
But human brains function similar across
They
the
do.
entire species.
I can see
mean,
that, right? Like humans functioning basically similar, like in creativity.
Yeah, you mean to tell me that you're like, holy shit, dude, it's some big connected fucking thing. And everybody looked at an iguana and was like, what if this had wings? Like, that's not that original, dog.
But
like,
not-
I'm sure
but
that
not all-
thousands of motherfuckers.
So
Yeah.
not all dragons had wings. Like if you look at Asian dragons or even like I said, Mayan, Aztec dragons, they typically didn't actually have wings.
No, those are
but they were
paper
flying
and usually
lizards.
have like, I don't know, 40 people inside of them that wave them around
Yeah,
and
well,
some sort of
Either
celebration.
way, what I'm saying is, like, for all these interconnected civilizations to kind of all like, or not interconnected, unable to connect, all these civilizations had a connected idea, which I thought was it's just very strange to begin with. Like they all had a very similar myth for them not to be connected in any kind of way. And then
The real question is the presence of the mind goblin in like historical.
yes,
You guys
Exactly.
familiar with the
Well,
mind goblin?
What is
funny?
Mind goblin needs nuts. Next topic.
yep. No, so what I was getting to was, so birds, right? They have hollow bones.
Oh my god.
No, no, hold on. Bear with me, right? Bear with me.
Okay.
We typically find fossils because, you know, how fossilization works and all that shit. Sturdy bones, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Hollow bones are typically the most fragile, like easily destructive bones. And that's why pterosaurs are so hard to come by for fossils. And because of that, because fossils can dissolve, they can break, they can be, and everything like that. If a dragon existed in the way that it's depicted in you know, cultures all over the world, with the wingspan some of these motherfuckers had, they would have to have hollow bones. And maybe the reason we never found any fossils of them is because all their bones fucking disintegrated over time because they were hollow.
Seems mildly convenient.
It does seem mildly convenient. But so does every culture on the fucking planet coming up with the same myth without any way of connecting with each other.
You know, you're making a really good argument for God right now, Paul.
I know
Yeah.
I am. What if God's bones were hollow?
It's
Damn it. Fucking son of a bitch.
I think it's a natural progression though that God is a thing across cultures and just
And that, yeah, I guess
like,
that's another
because we
thing.
naturally
It's like
want to ask the question,
every culture
like, where
has a
did we
god.
come from? Where did this come from? How did this become to be or come to be?
yeah, but dragons didn't create us. Everybody wants to know who created us. Nobody's like, man, what if that lizard breathed fire and flew?
Maybe.
You got to be on some
Hold on.
crazy ass
Hear me out.
psychedelics for that shit.
Hear me out. Maybe God was a dragon.
Man, God was a dragon. Fuck. The Mayans had it right all the time with Quetzalcoatl. Why didn't I fucking think of that? Or Aztecs or whoever had Quetzalcoatl. I don't fucking know. The wind serpent. I don't
now
remember
I have
which.
a title to the episode. God was a dragon.
God was a dragon. Well, according to, hold on, let me look up Quetzalcoatl. I can't remember what people he belonged to. Aztec. Okay, he was part of the Aztec pantheon. I was almost there. Oh, he did have wings sometimes.
It's depending on what civilization was depicting him, I guess. I don't know.
There
Tyler.
were multiple civilizations that apparently worship Quetzalcoatl, so whatever.
I
Anyway,
don't know, but that's
What's
a
up,
terrible name. He sounds like a nerd.
he is a nerd. He's Aztec. Of course he's a nerd. He's a wind god. Who gives a shit?
Thank you for listening. You can email us at akettleoffishpodcast@gmail.com or call us at 615-933-1855. Hope to catch you next week.